In today's video, I'm going to share with you the importance of looking your best every day. That's right, every single day. Let's quickly evaluate what I mean by that. I don't mean you have to do the most every single day, but do your best. While some days, obviously, the best we can do in any given situation is nothing, it by no means should be most days. And if you're just going to start the video with the ers and the ums, then you're just not ready for this message. Catch you around next time, beautiful. I was requested to make this video because I have been mentioning recently, particularly in the high maintenance energy series, which I will link down below, that part of what I think will motivate us to be our best, focus on ourselves, put our best face forward, live the high maintenance lifestyle, which really is just a lifestyle around going after what you want, surrounding yourself with people that make you happy, doing what makes you happy. I've said several times that I think one of the best ways to kind of start in that direction is by doing things that cause you to put focused, intentional action towards yourself. And nothing really manifests better in that pursuit than the act of getting dressed, the act of doing your hair, the act of wearing makeup if that's what you want to do. So I thought I would go ahead and make a video about this whole concept and where it comes from and why I really believe in it. But I will have a video coming up in the next few days or so about some really easy beauty habits that you can implement into your life that are small but will really move the needle towards that focused energy. Once again, going towards yourself. First things first, this video is not for everybody. I don't actually think any of my videos are meant to be for everybody. And I would just appreciate you guys who come to my channel out the gate furious about what the video title says or what the topic of discussion is for today. I wish y'all would take a little responsibility for your actions. Instead of blaming me for how you feel about this, maybe you could take a little look at yourself, because you see what the title says, you see what it is, you show up anyway, and you're mad about it. Like, it's okay. You know, everything will be for you or about you. This is just for people who want this message, who need this message, and for who asked for it. And it's also for people who maybe already want to put more effort into their appearance and kind of need the motivation. Maybe it's for someone who was very motivated to do this pre-lockdown, but since, you know, we've been in this house for so long, have kind of lost that side of themselves and miss it. Or really for anyone who has noticed that not putting that effort in towards themselves doesn't feel good. If it feels good for you to not put that effort in, again, I don't really know why you're here, but that's totally okay. I'm fine with that. That's fine. So also, if you are struggling with extreme physical or mental illness right now, I would encourage you to focus on the next right thing that you could do in your situation always. And I understand that the next right thing might not be putting an outfit together, and I think you should really put all your energy into getting well. But I will encourage you that once the season of life is upon you, that it does feel good and does feel accessible to start focusing on these things, that you're able to identify it, and that you choose to move in that direction because you deserve it, especially after you go through something really, really tough like that. All that being said, I just have to ask, where did we go so wrong? Where did the shift happen? You know, when did we start this narrative that says that caring about one's own appearance, one's own physical real estate, the one thing, goddess willing, you have complete dominion over? When did this whole thing start where it's like taking care of it is bad? Why is it considered pointless, a waste of time, a sign of vanity and conceit, but also simultaneously a sign of insecurity? That one was always so interesting to me. Why is it not worth doing? Like, why? There's this meme that's been circulating. I think the first time I saw it was about 6 or 7 years ago. And I like to use memes to kind of point to maybe like a marker in time where the vast majority of us find ourselves on the same page about something. That's what makes it a meme and so shareable. It's because we can all relate to it. The meme goes something like, I'm either dressed to the nines or I look homeless. There is no in between. Which I'm assuming is not trying to say, I'm dressed to the nines usually, but on a rare occasion, I am not. Ha ha ha, I'm so quirky. Like, I don't think that's what it's trying to illustrate. I think what it's saying is, I don't take really good care of myself or pride in my appearance unless the appropriate audience is present, and then and only then will I do it. I used to do this, okay? I actually used to joke about it a lot. I wore gym clothes everywhere I went for years. It got to the point where when someone invited me somewhere, or if I was going to lunch with my sister, I would get on the phone with her and be like, do I have to wear pants? My lowest point with this, by the way, was going to a makeup gig. I actually showed up to a client's hotel room to do their makeup for an event in gym clothes, and I explained it away by saying that I was going to head to the gym right after. And every time I think about that, it literally makes me feel kind of sick to my stomach. I also used to do this thing where I wore my hair up in a bun every single day. This stuff is embarrassing to share with you guys. I'm just hoping it can help you in some way, but I would wear it up in a bun every single day. I might wash it once a week. Again, I would find a way to kind of make it a joke and make it funny. I would really only wear makeup and put myself together to film, or if I went out, like if there was a big event or something. My poor husband during this time, good Lord. He definitely loves me for me. That much I do know at this point. But yeah, that's where I think this whole idea and this mentality of we're either glam or homeless, which probably is not very politically correct of me to keep saying, but it's just relation to the meme. I'm sorry. But yeah, you could see me on the internet all day, every day, and have no idea what I was really living my everyday life. It was always all or nothing with me. I can't really sit here and unpack this for everybody, so I'm not even going to try. But I'm going to be really honest and tell you where this came from with me. First of all, I gained a lot of weight. I felt super uncomfortable and did not even want to learn how to dress my new body. I think on some level, I believe that because I wasn't a size 4 anymore, that my new body was not worthy of nice clothes and good treatment, which is terrible, actually terrible when I stop and examine that. It was like I wanted to punish my body for it not looking the way that I wanted for it to look. And the funny thing was, I was only reaffirming that to myself every single day that I chose not to put that effort in. So it was like it was very cyclical. It was, I don't feel good about myself. I'm not going to put this effort in. I haven't put this effort in, so I don't feel good about myself. It just kept going around and around, and it was really hard to get the motivation or even the inspiration to make a change. Now, simultaneously, around the same time, I was also going through a really, really difficult time with some very difficult people, and I'm really going to simplify the essence of where this came from. It's far more complicated than what I'm about to say. But these people, throughout the duration of the time they've been in my life, have kind of tried to villainize and paint me as some sort of bad person because I wear makeup, because I wear high heels, because I care about how I look. And I think somehow I got that into my head. I internalized. I did exactly what they wanted me to do. Like, I let it make me feel really bad. So I minimized and I shrank myself down into this version of myself that I thought would at least shut them up. I mean, fun fact, it never will shut these type of people up. But ultimately, all this to say, I was in a dark place. I was depressed. I was not happy. And the point I'm trying to make is the times in my life that I have put the least amount of effort into the way that I look stem from the fact that I was in a dark place. It was not a sign of Whitney's doing well right now. That's really why I want to make this video and why I want to talk about this with you guys. It's not because I'm trying to make the case for the fact that looks are the only thing that matter, and if you don't slay all day and you don't look perfect all the time, you're not a worthy human being. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that to actively avoid taking care of yourself, not getting dressed, not brushing your hair, not putting on perfume, not putting on makeup, however far you want to take this, not doing these things for a long period of time is usually a symptom of something else. You might have always been around people who try to send the message to you that to neglect yourself, to ignore yourself, to not put effort into yourself is a good thing. Maybe they want you to think that, who cares anyway? There's more important things in the world. It doesn't make a difference. All of these things that really aren't serving you or them, for that matter, to believe. And yeah, there are obviously people out there who only care about this stuff, who truly believe the way that they look does define them, and it does somehow give them a superior place in life above others. But are you actually one of those people? I'm going to bet you're not. I know I'm not. I know that I am an intelligent, kind, caring, dedicated, hardworking, loving, sensitive, and considerate person. Anyone who has ever spent any measurable time around me will tell you that. And not taking care of myself, not putting energy into myself, isn't really communicating that I am those things any more than it communicates those things when I am putting effort in. Honestly, anyone who believes that they have your entire personality and character pegged by the fact that you carry yourself well, anyone who thinks that says a lot more about them than it says about you, because I'd be willing to wager that you're like me. I am not the kind of person, when I see people who don't put effort into themselves, I don't sit around and try to make all kinds of judgments about them. I would never do that. The only judgments I make now, based on my own experiences and like what science says, is that maybe they're not in the best place in their life. They're not feeling so good about themselves, and I have empathy for that. And I'm touching on this part so heavily because this is the excuse, or the reason I should say, I'm given the most. I have talked about this before. I have gotten this from women in real life, in my DMs, emails. I have heard more women in my life tell me that they don't present themselves to the world the way they truly want to. They don't want to wear the clothes that they love the most, the makeup styles they are drawn to, the hair they think is the most beautiful, because they are so afraid of other people's reaction to it. That they're afraid of this, ooh, she thinks she cute. Where are you going? Why are you so dressed up? What are you getting all ready for? They don't want to deal with that type of a person. But the thing is, if you stop and think about it, it's actually really tragic that there are people out there who are so unhappy, so uninspired by themselves and their own life, so unsure of themselves, so unmotivated, that to see someone else who embodies the opposite of that, it's like a target they seek to annihilate. But there are people like that, and honestly, you just have to stop giving them an audience. You know, a helpful mindset to take with certain people in certain situations with certain beliefs, it's further than just haters gonna hate. You almost have to look at it like, wow, that is a sad person. I'm sorry they are having such a hard time in life, but I'm not gonna let that person who clearly is not doing very well for themselves in this life tell me how to live mine, because it is honestly all projection. There is something about you, something that you are doing that is causing them to have this really weird one-sided battle within themselves. You know, they create these narratives about you and who you are so they can justify their own choices, so that they can feel better about that which they are not willing to face within themselves. Don't get involved. This is not about you. They would be just as offended, just as mouthy, just as irritated by the next person that comes along that triggers that stuff within them. You have got to learn to tune it out. Because honestly, there's like no prize at the end of your life. It's not going to be this thing where it's like, Whitney won. No one ever was mad at her. She didn't bother anybody. Everyone agreed with everything she did. She upset no one. She wins. Like, that's not how it works. Now, again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that it's full beat or bust. That's why I pointed to that meme in the beginning of the video, because I think that's the problem we're having. I think that when it comes to our appearance, we're getting to the point now where if we think that if we have no time to do all of the things, then we have no time to do any of the things. So why even bother? You know, with the exception of very extreme situations, we all have way more time than we think we do. I mean, people binge episodes of Bridgerton like it's going out of style. Y'all be scrolling on Instagram for hours at a time, Facebook stalking your boyfriend from 9th grade. Like, you have time. You're just choosing not to focus it on yourself. I think that now is a particularly good time to be having these conversations with ourselves, because some of us are coming up on a full calendar year of being up in this house. A follower of mine worded this perfectly the other day. She basically said something to the effect of, I was the first person to always say that I did my makeup for me. I did all of this for me. But since I've been in lockdown, I haven't been doing it. And now I'm questioning whether I ever meant that or not. It was something along those lines. And I thought it was just perfectly personifies what I mean when it comes down to who we're truly putting this effort in for, who we're putting this effort in for, Who's the beneficiary of the effort? What? Basically, the point is the idea that there has to be a certain kind of audience for us to give ourselves that attention is really sad. And I blame the screens. Because we're so used to living our lives like it's a performance now that when it's an audience of one, it can seem pointless and silly. And it's not. So prior to the depressive episode I was in, it started in 2014, 15, and it went on for years. But prior to that, I lost a lot of time. And I'm really sad to think about it. But prior to that, I was a very different person. That is, the person prior to depressive episode Whitney is who I really am. Who I am when I'm happy, who I am when I'm feeling good and when I'm positive. And that person worked out regularly, ate well, loved fashion, loved dressing up, and wanted to look my best at all times. Prior to my depressive period, I was happy with that aspect of myself. And now that I'm better, I have a lot more objectivity around that, and I can truly see how bad it was. We're at a rough time in history, and it may have become second nature as a result of all the uncertainty and chaos and fear that comes with times like these, to kind of want to stay in the most cozy, couchy, comfortable, bare minimum effort into ourselves, into our appearance. And, life might one day resume back to normal and those habits might go away, or they may not. In my case, they didn't. It truly just became the way I thought I was supposed to live my life from now on. It was too comfortable not to do those things. But again, it didn't make me happy. The point is, if not doing my hair and makeup and not getting dressed every day was like liberating and it made me feel great, that would be a whole different conversation. But that's not what was happening. And it might not be what's happening with you right now. And what I'm trying to suggest to you is that we need to be aware of this when we're in the house now, so that when life goes back to normal, we can adjust back to it. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? It has taken me years to go back to feeling like my regular self. And really, all I am inviting you to do is to make effort into yourself for your sake. Because you are valuable and you are important even when no one is watching. You are worth it even when it bothers people. When they make what you're wearing today their business. When they make that face. Like, that is a whole lot of their problem, baby. You just take a second and acknowledge how sad that is for them and keep it pushing. So how do we do this? How do we change our habits to focus our energy and attention on ourselves in a way that feels good and is sustainable? This can be as simple as not wearing the same PJs that you woke up in all day. Maybe doing an easy hairstyle after you do a skincare routine in the morning, putting on a little concealer and some lip balm. That alone can very easily be more than some people have done in a very, very long time. I guarantee, and science backs it up, that starting your morning with a little routine towards getting yourself ready for the day, resetting your brain into understanding it's a fresh day, will make your transitions throughout your day a little bit easier. It will make you happier and a lot more productive, even if you are just staying in the house. Maybe this looks like putting on one of your favorite outfits, even just to go to the grocery store. There's another meme that circulates around that says something like, the fear of wasting an important outfit on an insignificant day. Again, with the memes. It's a sign of a universal understanding that we have about something. But what does that even mean? You guys, my mom passed away a year ago, and I can tell you that one more day with her wouldn't have been insignificant in any way, even if we were just going grocery shopping. And this day that you get to have is in no way insignificant. What is actually insignificant about your life? What are you saving your most loved things for? Get out of that mindset. It's not serving you. Maybe it looks like spending that hour a day that you normally spend scrolling on social media, giving yourself a pedicure, taking a big shower. It's just focusing on yourself for a little while that we're really trying to make the objective here. We have this really messed up idea that life happens in the extremes. It's all about those 90-day bikini body shreds and 72-hour juice cleanses and 2 years without cable TV, whatever it is. Like, people think they can only really change their lives in the extreme. It's really not the case. It's the small little things you do every day that actually move the needle, that actually snowball into a whole new outlook on life and in some cases yourself. So the idea of getting ready and getting dressed every day seems trivial and seems stupid, but it's already affecting you, whether you realize it or not. So a lot of you guys ask like what I do for my getting ready every day and if I would do a everyday makeup routine. I really don't want to do that, you guys. There's nothing to make a video about. It's just tinted sunscreen, some concealer, some brow gel, some lip balm. I brush my hair, I put on some body lotion, some perfume, and I change into some loungewear. I bought some loungewear recently from Lulu's that I will link below. There's 2 different colors. I bought them both. I love it. It's warm, it's cozy. I feel cute in it. I feel representable in it. Sometimes I'll throw in some jewelry. Sometimes I won't. It just depends. I'm really just going to put some effort in, and I never leave the house in gym clothes anymore. Honestly, that was the first place I started. It didn't start with me trying to like look cute in the house, honestly, because I didn't have to worry about it. We weren't in this situation we're in now when this journey started for me 2 years ago. But it just had to start first with not leaving the house in gym clothes anymore. That was the first place for me. But it's going to be different for every single person. And knowing what I know about myself, knowing what I went through back then, knowing who I was before I went through it, knowing who I am now, I know that if I start to notice that I'm losing interest or motivation to take care of myself the way that I'm doing now and the way that I hope to continue to do, that's a symptom I need to be paying attention to. There is something going on that I need to be giving a lot of energy towards healing so that I can get my old self back again. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you to the patrons. We have a live stream tomorrow night where I think we're going to be talking about feminine energy love lessons. I think that's what we're going to talk about. You guys have told me that you wanted me to talk about feminine energy and femininity after my last video. I'm not an expert on this. I have been researching and studying this space for about 2 years now. So I have a lot of opinions about it, both pros and cons. I think there are some very awesome aspects to it that could serve. That's really what I pay attention to at the end of the day. Kind of why I went on my rant at the beginning of the video, where I just don't see why people think that they can't learn anything from anyone. Like, you can always learn something from a situation. And while there are a lot of reasons that people do not like the femininity movement, I think there's a lot of valuable lessons in it that I enjoy. And that's what I want to talk about on Patreon tomorrow. And somebody told me they would love it if I talked about it on Patreon regularly, which has inspired me to do a little something over there. I'm thinking about doing a little something over there. It's not set in stone yet, but I'll keep you guys posted. There might be a little challenge, a little journey I want to go on with you guys. So if you're interested in all of the above, I'm having so much fun on YouTube right now. I haven't had this much fun on YouTube just talking about whatever I want to talk about in a while. So thank all of you guys who've been hanging out with me and riding with me during this. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms, and I will catch you in the next one.